my friends, Metroid Prime 2 and 3. We don't even have a date for Metroid Prime 4 yet, but are 2 and 3 about to hit the Switch 2? Are they about to be announced? And how will they be announced? In a direct or another way? I'm going to reference my conversation with Nintendo insider Nash Weedle, and I'm going to let you guys hear what he said about the matter, and it's very interesting indeed. And then also I want to talk a little bit about Astral Chain 2, the proposed sequel to the amazing game on the Switch. In my opinion, the best exclusive on that console. But where is number 2? The game sold well, but what is happening with the sequel? We're going to get into that as well. Before we jump into all those games though, let me just quickly remind you that you yourselves can win a copy of Donkey Kong Bananza right here. I'll be giving away a copy of the game on day 1, July 17th, when I'll be streaming the game. All you got to do if you want a chance to win it is make sure that you're subscribed to the channel. And now that you're here, you may as well hit that like button. Helps the channel out loads, my friends. And now, to the first game at hand. I'm going to start with Astral Chain 2, my good friends, because yes, this is a game that came out years ago now, and the game sold very well. In fact, it was reported that the game has sold over 1 million. Since then, we heard that a sequel was in the works, but we've heard not a single peep. In fact, any chances we had of the game coming out seems to be slowly being diminished by the fact that, Platinum Games co-creator, co-founder Kamiya has left, and with him, he's taken some important people from Platinum Games, including the director of Astral Chain. So where does that leave the sequel Astral Chain 2? Is it even still on the cards? Well, I spoke again with Nintendo insider Nash Weedle, and he has some very interesting information about that game that I think you'll find very interesting. So let's take a listen to see what he says.
Creo que los van a traer los Bayonetta.
Sí.
Nintendo va a relanzar Bayonetta. Es que mucha gente estaba diciendo, ahora no va a haber Bayonetta. Sí,
yo vi que hablaste de esto, ¿no? Ya que claro, se ha ido Kamiya, y no solo Kamiya, parece que se ha llevado gente de Platinum Games, ¿no? Parece, sí, que se va a llevar más gente de Platinum Games. Y claro, como dices, ¿no? La gente piensa, ahí ahora está muerto. Y yo vi que tú comentaste que no solo que van a salir estos 3 al Switch 2, pero que piensas que van a continuar ¿no? la saga, ¿no? Que va a tener un 4 y... esto es lo que tú piensas, ¿no? Que el 4 va a salir, ¿no? Bueno, estarás trabajando en eso seguramente ahora, ¿no?
Creo que primero va a Astral Chain 2.
Oye, espera un rato, Nash. A ver, porque ese, después de Dying Light, es creo que mi juego segundo favorito en el Switch. Astral Chain, yo lo pongo, y es que a mí me encanta Bayonetta 1 y 2 como nada. Y el 3 me gustó mucho.
El 3
bastante
brillante, lo que pasa, creo que es un incomprendido.
Exacto. Pero Astral Chain para mí es que el juego, la mejor exclusiva que hay en esa consola. Sí. Es que para mí tiene tanto estilo y la música, el combate, todo. Y yo sé que cuando salió, yo me acuerdo que después de 6 meses, o por lo menos en el primer año, había vendido más de 1 millón. Porque me acuerdo que, no sé por dónde salió eso, alguien, no sé si es que era Platinum Games, pero que ellos estaban contentos que había vendido 1 millón. Pienso, bueno, ha vendido 1 millón. Después parece que paró de vender, ¿no? Después de vender bastante, no sé en qué quedó la ficha al final. Y entonces yo me puse a ver, no, como preocupante, que saldrá una segunda, pero tú crees que sí.
Sí, antes de los cambios de Platinum que ha habido en Platinum Games, estaba bastante avanzado el desarrollo y hay que tener en cuenta que pertenece a Nintendo la IP y que tiene gente trabajando de la propia Nintendo.
Es que ese
o sea,
juego...
no depende de Platinum 100% el desarrollo de ese juego, depende también de Nintendo. Que más que Nintendo tiene hasta patentadas lo que es la mecánica de combate con las cadenas y todo. Sí. Tiene patentadas ellos.
Sí, es que ese juego
es increíble.
So my friends, there you go, some very interesting news from Nintendo insider Nash Weedle, who claims that not only is Bayonetta 1, 2, and 3 coming out as well as Bayonetta 4, but that Astral Chain 2 will be out before it, and that he thinks it's actually been in development for a while now. Now, add to that the fact that there has been hints of it in past games. For example, in the trailer for Bayonetta 3, we saw the character Lappy, who of course features heavily throughout Astral Chain, and we saw him being hinted at, well, not hinted at, he cameoed in the trailer for Bayonetta 3, hinted at a future, release of Astral Chain 2. So that was the first hint. But of course, as I said, the fact that Kamiya has left and other people left Platinum, it's left it in a bit of a dark place. But the reassurances from Nash Weedle is that the game has been in development for a while, and don't forget, Nintendo owns the patent, so it's not just down to Platinum Games. In fact, even if it wasn't Platinum Games, Nintendo could make it themselves or pass it over to another developer, although I would much rather it stayed with Platinum. So I am very intrigued about this information, and the fact that he says it's been in development for quite a while now does lead me to believe it could be one of those dark horses that does show up at this proposed July Direct. I think it could be one of those games that people have just kind of forgotten about, but that could make a comeback in that Direct with a very stylish trailer. But now let's move over to the big one, Metroid Prime 2 and 3, because this is very interesting, because we don't have a date, as I said, for Metroid Prime 4. We saw that a poster in London had leaked that allegedly said the game was out now. Nintendo has since corrected it and it just says out soon. When is soon? I don't believe it's a Christmas game. I think it's going to be out before Christmas, maybe September or October. And in fact, we know that there is that Metroid Prime 1 to 3 special book coming out, and it's been put back, I think, on Amazon to October 28th. That's only 4 months away. So we know Metroid Prime 4 most probably is going to come out before the end of October at the very least. Where does that leave Metroid Prime 2 and 3? Well, surely there is no way those are coming out after Prime 4. If anything, those are going to come out just before it to get fans excited, right? So that means it's going to be out in the next 4 months. But it's heavily rumored that Prime 4 is going to be shown in this Direct and given a date in July. So I don't believe it's going to share the limelight with Prime 2 and 3. But I spoke again with Nintendo insider Nash Weedle, and he has some very interesting things to say about Metroid Prime 2 and 3, the possible release, and how we will get to know about its announcement. Now check out what he said.
Rápido, ¿tú crees que vamos a ver Metroid Prime 2 y 3?
Sí. Y atentos a la aplicación de Nintendo Today.
Oye, madre mía, vale. Vale, con esa sonrisa, mira. Esté atento, gente.
Va a ocurrir cosas en esa aplicación.
So, my friends, there you go. Super interesting stuff there from Nintendo insider Nash Weedle, who basically is hinting heavily at the fact that he thinks Metroid Prime 2 and 3 Remastered will be announced very soon, and on that Nintendo Today app. And what's very interesting, even more so about that, is the fact that we had that conversation over a month ago or so, and since then Nintendo has indeed been using that app to, you know, just basically release the kind of usual standard messaging and announcements. But that all changed about a week ago when they announced Splatoon Raiders on there. That is not your standard announcement. If anything, that is a direct-worthy announcement. It's a spin-off game, after all, of one of their biggest franchises. So it just goes to show that what Nash Weedle was saying in our conversation is very true. He said big things are going to be happening on that app, and doesn't come much bigger than a Splatoon announcement of a spin-off game. It's not DLC, it's not, you know, new gear or a new map or anything like that. It's a spin-off game that they announced on their app. So as he says, keep your eyes on that app, because it seems as though they will be announcing something like Prime 2 or 3 on there, and it could be very soon, because if we are led to believe the rumors of a Direct this July and the information that Nintendo will be showing off more Prime 4 and announcing a release date, then surely it makes a lot more sense to be announcing Prime 2 and 3 before then. And if it's not in the Direct, it's going to be on their app. So that's what I think, my friends. You know, I think it's going to be right around the corner, so keep your eyes on the app. But that's the video for today, my good friends. I wanted to talk about the status of Prime 2 and 3, when we can expect to see it. And I found that conversation I had with Nash Weedle, again, very interesting, very thought-provoking. It just goes to show that he is a well-connected guy who seems to know his stuff. More and more of his, you know, information is coming true every day. So he's someone that you should go and follow on X. His X, in fact, account is in the description below. And I hope you found the information on Astral Chain very intriguing as I did, because the fact that Nintendo owns the IP, it means that they don't necessarily, as I said, have to wait for Platinum Games to do it. They could pass it on to someone else, but I hope it stays with Platinum Games. And it is a game, as I said, that it's a game that people have forgotten about. But if it's, as Nash Weedle says, been in development for a while, then it's got every chance of showing up at a next Direct, and that's what I think may happen. So, my friends, that's the video for today. I wanted to talk about, you know, some interesting things with you guys, but don't forget, I will be back tomorrow with all the regular Nintendo news. And don't forget, you can win yourselves a copy of Donkey Kong Bananza right here on this channel. Just make sure you're subscribed, and I'll see you on the next one, my friends. So have an awesome day. Bye.